Okay, folks, good morning. Kind of an unusual time to be filming, Thursday morning. For the rest of the world and here in the United States, it's Thanksgiving holiday. Also known as 4 days off in a row and nowhere to go. So most people do travel, but I will not be traveling, so that means we should be able to do painting hopefully every morning. We'll see how that plays out. All right, so last time we left off, we left the Panzer II platoon, had been painted in Panzer Gray, and we had given it an Agrax Earthshade wash. So that's where we're at right now. We have 4 of these, and we're going to do the dry brush and Panzer Gray on top of it. We'll start lightening these guys up. And hopefully not all of my viewers are on vacation, or it's going to be really boring for me. We can lose the jewelry. All right. Now we need a brush for dry brushing this. I think this one should do just fine. And this is just straight German gray from Vallejo. And we're just dry brushing over in the same color that was there before we put the Agrax Earthshade down. It just adds a little bit of depth there to the colors. And I think I will do all 4 of them this way. In other words, all in a row, so to speak. These are the S model Panzer II C. kits, even though there's not that much building that had to be done on them. Okay. What's unusual about these tanks is there's a huge difference in weight between many of the models. I have the MMS ones that are extremely heavy because they're white metal, and I've got these that are almost too light. And they each have their advantages. Gluing things on the plastic ones are so much easier. So much easier. But some of the stuff, some of the plastic is really, really brittle. This reminds me, let's make sure that I got into there on that, okay? All right, and the second turret is here. It's the one we're gonna have to replace the machine gun because half of it snapped off. Just dry brushing. Must have hit it at the wrong angle and okay, this is one of the white metal ones, which is a B. And it must be a retrofitted B. Because it's got more advanced features on it than the other one. Advanced features like it's got smoke dischargers. It's got a cupola instead of just being two hatches that just fold open. The commander goes, da-da! You know, he's got something to kind of hide behind with some periscopes. But there's a fair chance, I would think, that it's going to be a low turnout this morning because my American viewers are not stupid enough to get up this early. And the European one's just regular Thursday for them. Just Just another Thursday. Hey there. Long time no see. Is it just a regular Thursday over there in Europe? I think it is. Which has got to be really annoying to have some holiday that's not a big deal. And then the day after tomorrow is Black Friday, which I'm pretty sure that's the world over. But this is, other than 1 year, it's a guaranteed 4-day weekend for me with taking no time off. So I'm a big fan of that. I leave work and nothing happens while I'm gone. I don't have to prepare anything. Because normally when I go on vacation, I need to leave everything done and then I gotta fix it when I come back. Not a fan of that. I think it's just a regular Thursday in Europe, isn't it? Okay, this is the one that I had to rebuild this hatch. Rebuild this hatch for it that has no detail. So we're going to paint detail like we did that one Panzer III. The two Panzer IIIs actually. Both of them had a hatch missing, and I rebuilt the hatch out of plastic hard, I think is what you guys call it. I call it the lid of it was like a yogurt container or something like that. Just an ordinary day here. So it rolls into a potentially crazy buying spree. Although I gotta believe that each year that's less and less important. Like I won't even go to a store. I won't go to a physical store tomorrow. Fortunately, there's not really anything I'm looking for either. So the deals have to find me. But I'm not going to go wait in a line and all that kind of stuff. I guess it's a bigger deal when your kids are younger and you got to go get toys or stuff like that. But now as an adult, stuff's available all the time. Online anyways, in store it's almost like you're never available. That's what the big change of pandemic, at least where I live, it just seems like stores just don't stock stuff anymore like they used to. Mr. Avery, welcome. Just a normal Tuesday here in the UK, West Wales. West Wales, okay, so you're on the coast. Okay. Oh, really? I grabbed it by that and bent the frickin' barrel. Well, I unfortunately keep making mistakes, and you're going to see every one of them because I don't edit this stuff out. Maybe we can. I'm not a fan of these white metal things. I hope this wasn't the barrel. One of these was a royal pain in the ass to glue on. I think it was the other one. Damn it, man. Well, we're going to come back to that because that's going to sidetrack me. We'll glue that later. Can't have nothing nice. Well, I know there's most people, and a lot of it has to do with I have to take my contacts out to paint, so I'm like, my field of vision is like ridiculously small. And the only reason I'm conscious of that is because 6 years ago that wasn't the case and just started getting blurry. But oh well. I know if I'm making this many mistakes, lots of people out there are making even more because I'm pretty careful. But oh well, shit happens. One of these days I'll be dead and I won't make any more mistakes. Okay, this is the Luftwaffe blue. actually had a dream just before I woke up about. Somebody had tried to cancel me because I'd used a swastika in something. Well, maybe that'll happen. I don't promote that garbage, but sometimes things that have models have swastikas on them. We all know they're the bad guys. Need to get some thicker skin. Serious storms here today. I've just completed DBA Early Libyans. They're getting their first on-the-table experience this afternoon. That's an army that changed significantly from 2.2 to 3.0. They got significantly more useful in the 3.0 iteration. I think there's 4 lists for them, right? And the last one even has a significant amount of spear, so they should be able to hold their own in many battles. So, well, good luck to you with them. Who made what's the manufacturer of those guys? There was there's a tournament that was run, gosh, I want to say it was in Australia, about a year ago, and they listed the competitors, and one of the competitors, I forget what it was a Bronze Age theme or a chariot theme or something like that. One of the competitors had brought a early Libyan army, and the way they were listed, I thought was the way that they placed in. And I had thought that the early Libyans had won the entire event, which is possible. So then I started looking at their, who made the figures and that kind of stuff. So I've actually looked into, into the manufacturers, and I think Old Glory is who I would have gone with, even though I'm not a huge fan of some of their ranges, that one being one of them. But I'll be honest with you, the whole reason I would paint that army, we would just go and paint those naked guys running around with the big socks on their you-know-whats, just for the humor factor. I think that would just be, the jokes would just write themselves. But I later found out that they actually didn't win. It was just the order that the players had signed up to play the event. And it just happened to be that the early Libyan player had signed up first. And I was like, damn, that would have been so cool to just have a... But that was an army in 2.2 that had a reputation for just being horrible, like that you couldn't win with. But I think now in 3.0, the third and the fourth list are reasonable. And it's not that, some of the army lists are so light that they can't win. It's that they're light and they don't have any troop variety. So they might be okay in some situations, and there's just some matchups where they're just not going to be competitive. You're not going to have control of the battlefield at any point. Especially if they're like high aggression and really, really light, they're not going to have anywhere to hide, They're mixed of Chariot, Minister Militum, and Lancashire. Oh, Lancashire just don't get seen here in the States. If I remember correctly, they actually have a decent amount of pictures for their stuff on their site. But they got a mixed bag of stuff. And I think they're actually the guys that took over the molds for what was the name of that? The guys that were doing stuff for Renaissance. They did Turks and they did Venexia. I think they took up the molds for Venexia. And I always wanted to get a hold of some of those Venexia figures because they look really cool. At least the Venexia Renaissance ones. Early Renaissance type figures. I've never seen anybody with Lancashire figures here in the States. Kind of like a regular. You just don't see people with a regular. And some of those older style figures, they paint up just fine, I'm a big fan of taking those, not the latest and the greatest figures and creating, stuff with them. You did enjoy Games vs. Spartans in version 2. Recently dipped in a 3D printed 15 mil and went pretty well. resin, I take it, right? I've had good experiences painting the stuff. I'm not getting into building this stuff. I don't have a personality type for it. I don't like the rug getting pulled out from under me. So the idea of getting excited about something that's going to print all day and I come back from work and it's printed wrong, I'm not going to do well with that situation. I I get I have to deal with too many problems at work to deal with them in my personal life. I just know me. I don't do well with that. So, and be honest with you, I don't really need more stuff to paint. One-off things here or there, but I need so few of the. Well, need is a wrong word. I'm craving for so few things that it is just easy to just pay somebody else to on Etsy or something like that. Actually, there's a lot of stuff on Etsy that looks really cool, buildings and stuff, for this scale stuff, but that's a ways off from getting that. I'm just enjoying painting these guys. And no motivation right now really to learn how to play the game. I may look into it after I'm done with these Panzer Gray guys, and then we're going to do some Russians, some Soviets. Is there something about version 2.2 that you miss? I assume you played 3.0. I never missed anything. There's nothing in 2.2 that I liked better than 3.0. Nothing. And I love the Saloy ambush, that multiple move thing. I gladly give that up over the improvements that were made. So we don't need more stuff to paint to here, but here I am anyway. But painting resin feels far better for me too. Yeah, I don't like painting plastic figures, and maybe it's this idea that I have that the paint is going to fall off of them. It's probably, back from having Airfix figures as a kid and having crappy paint and being careless with them. So I've got some plastic stuff that I've got to paint up for like gun crews and things like that might change my mind on it. So but I prefer plastic to white metal. Just this gun barrel. If it was plastic, it's just a lot easier to paint that on, to weld that on using the weld cement. But these are things I already had, and they've sat unused. I shouldn't have bought them when I bought them. Now that I did, I'm going to use them. What am I going to do? Throw them away? There's no. That's not a solution. So. So I mentioned earlier last weekend that I did do an impulse buy. That Tiny War Games UK decided to do a sale on their on some of their mats, that was like a 20% off sale, which is not enticing, but the shipping was free on a couple of their items. That's enticing because I went out and checked. I hadn't bought one yet, but the cigar box models, which are local, they're a U.S. company. Those mats, and we're talking like 4x6 mats, they run about $70 a piece, and that basically put the tiny UK War Games mats for half of that price. So, and I don't know whether it was a mistake, where they made a mistake to add the free shipping, but the shipping is double the price. So they're normally like $35, $40 mats or something like that. But the shipping to get them over here across the pond is about that same amount. So I jumped on it. Hopefully I don't regret it, because, you know, if I decide not to play this game, then I really don't need those. But that was a risk I was willing to take, I guess. Or it wasn't really an impulse buy. I put it in my cart and I left it for a couple days and decided to pull the trigger on it. I'm real good about that. Adding something in a cart and just think on it. It's not the amount of money. I just don't want I don't like to buy anything, even if it's a $4 item, and then realize, I shouldn't have bought that. It just doesn't feel good to buy things that you don't do anything with. We all have plenty of things like that we've done. It's better not to continually do that. All right, we've got the hulls done. Well, done up to this stage. All right, we need the turrets now. V2 armies had way less variety, so were cheaper. The Libyans used to be one warband, 11 Saloy for figures. Turrets like horse, horse spear. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know when I'm going to get back to painting 15s. It'll happen. It'll happen. Really enjoying reading about World War II. Doing stuff on Audible. Learning new shit that there's been new research on. Peculiar playstyle. Absolutely. Keep away. You know, unless the conditions are right. The problem is they have 11 Saloy. I think they were an aggression 4 army. So. Okay. And this one, the Panzer IIF, looks like we may have already done the highlighting on it. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I need to just finish this damn thing. No, we'll finish it with the other ones. I think I've got numerals to do. Oh, we weren't going to do these tanks or something? Think I was going to get away with that? So this split hatch on the Panzer IICs almost has like a pistol port on it or whatever. And on the instructions on this one, it showed it here, and the instructions the other one showed the opposite. So I'm sure one of these is wrong. I'm not going to worry about it. You know, it's too late now. That's what I do for trusting instructions. I got enough picture references, but Sometimes you're like, well, it says to put it over here, and it's not a subject that I am. If you had to double check everything to a picture, you'd never get anything built. So I'm not going to go and change it at this point. Just annoying that you can't believe people anymore. Maybe it's always been that way. You've never been able to trust people. It's just at some point you realize it, you know? When you're a kid, you assume it's possible, and then, oh, it's like this? Okay. All right, this is going to need some more attention because it's got a hatch that is totally flat. I replaced it, so we're going to paint some details on there. Mr. Gregory, welcome. Is it tomorrow yet? Nah, I'm going to get this thing out of the way since this one needs some TLC. Replacing that barrel and stuff. I'm actually looking forward to painting the details on that hatch. Okay. So Thanksgiving is only a US thing, huh? I figured you guys in Europe would celebrate for kicking those people out. Oh, we gotta get rid of these people with buckles on their shoes and that aren't fun at parties. Yay, let's have a bigger party now they're gone. No? Oh, man. All right, now we got to get one thing I'm not looking forward to because it takes up so much real estate. I don't think we have any live paint there. Starting to get a little bit of a mold smell. Aha. So it isn't completely mold free. Well, this thing's been closed up for a week. But not like before. So maybe these pennies do help. All right, let's find us a spot. We'll drop some of this Luftwaffe. I think this is probably dead, isn't it? Let's see, let's get a paintbrush that's likely for us to use for the next task at hand. Which means a smaller one. I think I need a bigger thing place to put these. I have a hard time throwing stuff away. I mean, I've got this paintbrush. I mean, look at this. What's this damn thing going to be good for? Nothing. Looks like it's been... All right, we'll throw that one away. I just have a hard time throwing them away. It's like, I might find a use for it. Yeah, we need something a little bit. That one. More detailed. Let's see if this color is alive. It is. Perfect. Perfect. We won't put any down. Is the sand alive? Boy, that'd be a miracle. Holy shit, it is. All right, sounds good. We're gonna need one of these since we just killed the last one. But yeah, it's Thursday morning, so Friday morning we should be painting. Saturday morning we should be painting. Sunday morning we should be painting. I don't think I'll be doing much painting after, 8:30 or something this morning, but still. We should be able to get some in. Let's use my new friend, Flow Aid. Just one drop. Now you read the instructions how you're supposed to use this. It's absurd. Mix 1 part Flow Aid to 20 parts water. No. I'm just using this instead of water for wetting. That's how I like to use it. Kind of like eye drops, like wetting drops for brushes. That's kind of how I envision this stuff like. Let's add a little bit more of the core color. There we go. And we'll pick out some of these details. Moistening drops. That's how I like to think of this stuff. I wonder how many of you guys were able to, when this thing started, you guys were able to work from home and are still able to. I'm really jealous of people that can work from home. I know some of you guys that work from home are probably, oh, I can't wait to get back in the office. Not me. I'd love it if I could work in this, you know? Just comfortable. Keep the temperature at whatever the hell temperature you want it to be at. Sure, not everybody could do it. You got to be self-disciplined. Probably should have done the black first of the wheels. Well, we'll finish this up and then we'll do the black on all the wheels. These Panzer IIs, the problem is they're going to have a little German cross on them. It's going to be really difficult to find a cross small enough to fit in some of these places. Even the smallest one just seems like they're too big most of the time. You got to buy special ones. I figured it'd be real easy. I'll just paint what I need. They just don't turn out well enough for my liking. Maybe I'm too picky. Well, I know I'm too picky, but you got to keep the artist happy or the artist just stops producing things. So if I spend a lot of time working on something and I don't like how it turns out, that's really discouraging to want to do more. So do you guys find it strange in the rest of the world that the Black Friday comes after a holiday you guys don't celebrate. It's got to be really annoying when trends are being set by other places. I feel like that has less and less significance every day. You know, you can buy things, you can find good deals online any day of the week. I don't expect to see, anything on Black Friday to be something I can't live without, that I got to go out and purchase it. We're waiting to do one big purchase. See if there's any deals on it. But you can't work from home because my wife is a freelancer and already works from home, and we have no second PC and working surface. Yeah. Well, somebody has to have if you have kids, somebody has to have a flexible work schedule. In my case, it's the wife. My work schedule is not flexible. It's the opposite of flexible. But I also don't get bothered by it on the weekends. I can pretty much disconnect, whereas she can't, so. I just like to work from home one day in my life ever. Yeah, but I get only having one PC. Well, she has a work PC. We don't do any work on this one. This is a fun one. And I'm glad I found enough of a use for it, because I was without a computer from a home computer of my own, from 2008 until was it 2008? No, it was 2012. From 2012 until 2020, I didn't have a home computer. I used my phone, but now, I'm getting my use out of it. Between this, I'm playing some video games. I'm not really playing video games on the console. When you need to get a video game in. So I just don't want to buy something and not, it's significant, a couple $1,000. That's not something I take lightly. It's going to feel like crap. You spend $2,000 on something and not use it. Freelancer, that's definitely a self-motivated type of job. If you're not self-motivated, it's probably going to be really difficult to do that. Let's see, it's mixing up another little batch here of this. Yep, a little bit here. Not everybody's made, a lot of people can't do that kind of stuff. Not everybody's made for those kind of things. I don't do well having to explain the same thing over and over to people, and that people don't listen. So like a lifeguard or something like that, I would, I would end up having to go to prison, having to repeat the same thing to people who work at a theme park where you have to, now put your buckle on like that. No. No, 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 no. No. When I was a kid, one of the punishments that I got as a growing up was writing sentences. So repetitive shit, just for the sake of doing it, I'm allergic to. Maybe that's why I can't paint 16 figures in a row. Like pants, 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 pants. Shoes, 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 shoes. Shirt, shirt. No, no, no. Let's just do them one at a time. I got a house full of people, so hopefully we can paint as long as we can. We'll see how that plays out. But at least I don't have to go to work. 'Cause I'm not a fan of having to sneak out of my own house while people are visiting me. They're on vacation. I'm just not a fan of that. And that's already happened for a couple days. Which one's this one? The B? Maybe we'll finish this one all the way up before we mess with any of the other ones. Yeah, let's do that. So the turret is this one. Okay. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of spaces to put a cross on here. I may put one on the back of the turret. Nope, it's got the damn vision ports. I'm not going to do that. I don't like putting decals over vision ports. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't look right. Even when you see pictures of it really done, it just doesn't look right. Not my preference to do things like that. Vision port there, that's got to be the radio operator. / loader. I think this is 3-man. Got the driver. The driver is always a driver and doesn't do another thing other than that. In combat, obviously they're a mechanic and stuff as well, and the commander is the gunner and the commander, and the loader, I believe, is the loader and / radio operator. There's a vision port that's down back here in the back, which very limited field of view. Very limited field of view. I've been playing that Gates of Hell Ostfront some off and on. So I've gotten better at it, which is not surprising considering I sucked so bad at it to begin with. It's one of those things that I know exactly what to do. It's just pressing the correct buttons to do it. So I've become a little bit more familiar with it. So if we do another one of those, I'll be a little less noob. But I didn't know there was a version of the KV that did not have a whole machine gun. I guess the early one did not have a whole machine gun. It is so much easier to play the Russians than the Germans. In that game. Or at least early war, you know you're not going to run into a super German tank. So, that's a little bit of peace of mind. And you get something like a KV or the SMK or something like that. It's just, you're basically immune. You're immune to just about everything. You know, other than close assault, but, you know, what are you doing with a tank that close to the enemy anyways? Well, I decided to not do something last week. Last week, my video editor that I use for my film, that I've used for probably 4 or 5 years, that I'm really happy with it. I'm getting real itchy, so just give me a second. Went up in price from $29.99 a year, US, to $119 a year. And as much as I like it, and I really do, I've got to find another thing to use. Now, I may end up being unhappy with it and purchasing it, but I'm not creating any videos, and it doesn't affect these videos. It's just like, you know, if I do an unboxing or something like that, I'm going to have to try to become familiarized with another thing that's less expensive than that. That's just absurd. It's just absurd. And yeah, they give you a lot of freebies, but I don't need that. You know, I just want something that's easy to use, and I'm going to have to give myself a chance trying to learn something else, because I just can't justify. I'm just not getting $119 worth of use a year on a video editor, especially that I'm not filming videos every week, you know. So again, it just comes back to how much are you spending on this item, all right, and how much are you using it? And that doesn't compute, you know. It's not the $119, it's the $119 to, you know, maybe do a video a month, Because if there's other unboxings to do, I'll do them. They're fun to do. They're short little 10-minute videos. Those are easy to process. But $119 a month, that's a huge increase. And somebody was saying, oh, they were doing it because the company was going bankrupt. Well, that's just going to speed up the process, you know. So, all right, we need to do the turret. So I just let it expire. So we'll see what that does. I've got an unboxing that should be coming up, and well, whenever they send it to me, we're going to do those play mats, and we got some decals that are taking forever and a day to get here. We'll do both of those. I like to do them. Honestly, I like to do all the videos. I just don't enjoy the longer videos, how long it takes to process while you can't use your phone and shit like that while that's happening. So definitely sticking to a phone editor, because it makes things a lot easier instead of having to upload it here and then it ties up your computer, and I like the simplicity of it. But if it ends up being too much of a pain in the ass, I guess I'll just have to bite the bullet and do it. But I'd rather, be smart about it. There we go. That's a little better. There's a guy in Australia. Well, he's Australian. I don't know if he's in Australia. But he does these video-related reviews, and that's how I found out about this editor. So I decided to watch a video. I'm subscribed to him, but it's not what I do. So I'm not constantly looking for new methods to improve different things like that. And I just said, well, let's see if there's anything new out there that might be better. And it's still one of the top 3 ones that he recommends, the one I use. So I was kind of hoping it wasn't, so that I could jump ship and find something that's not a constant drain every year of, hey, it's time for renewal. Bad enough to pay $30 every year to renew, but $119, that's just absurd. Some people are thinking probably $30 a year is too much, but it just boils down to, do you get your money's worth out of it? And it's a lot easier to get $30 worth out of it a year than a lot more than that. tiny little edge. These German turrets are just filled with edges, which makes them look cool, but yeah, there you go, something like that. And there's another one here. Just a little highlight on that where it catches a light. Okay, let's go across the back. Sometimes you get too much, I call it kickback, where it's too bright and you're blinding yourself. That's why I gotta like sometimes step back from what I'm working on. All right, which is what I'm gonna do now. Oh, I can't glue it all the way, I can't put it all the way down, I see. I hope if I can clean my glasses. Yeah, it looks okay from here. Let's paint the wheels and stuff. Black is certainly dead. Black's gotta be dead here. We'll probably use these as well. This will probably be just fine. I honestly thought this was going to be a bigger pain in the butt to paint all these little wheels, but tires, I guess. And I just use black because we're going to end up dry brushing this and it's going to end up looking grayer. I don't want to start with gray, and who knows what I'm going to end up with, a color that's maybe too light. And the tracks, we got to do the tracks too, so. let's go this direction. I like these wheels that have their on torsion bars a lot better than leaf springs and stuff like that. They just look better. Like the running gear on a Sherman is pretty unattractive. Apparently it was effective, but all right, let's do the tops and anything that might show on there. All right, let's move around to this side. We've got a spare one to do up top too. All right, let's flip the other side. Spare. I think I built one of these 1/35th scale from. Took me, I don't remember. Wasn't that memorable if I did. I know one of the first Tamiya models I built was a Panzer 4D that I painted like there was the Africa Corps, but I did it like early Africa Corps, so it was all gray. And we heavily dry brushed it. With sand colors. Which honestly, that's probably the way I would do Africa Corps. If I had to do them. I'm going to need to get some more coffee in a little bit. I'm dragging. And then we'll do the track surfaces. And these little smoke grenade launch, these smoke dischargers, I would think that the tips of them would be black or something like that. All right, I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll be right back in a few. All right, track time. I feel like I need to use a brush. It's a little bigger. Yeah, it should work. We end up using two different browns. I think I did. I think I got away with. I think I got away with that. Instead of taking the chocolate one and adding black to it, I just used this SS Camel Black or whatever the hell it's called now. I have such a hard time doing that. I didn't grow up painting in that style of using the three color system, so to speak. How's this attached? Spare track. I think there's some Panzer Gray bolting on things there, so we're going to try to avoid that. So we don't have to go in here and repaint them. Okay, let's do the same on the rear. Okay, that's good for the base color. Let's go to this side. It just saves you having to remix it, which is not difficult to do consistently. It's just another step in the process. Get the front part of this as well, or actually the back part of this. Of the track. And the jack. I'm sure there was some jacks that were painted the color of the vehicle, but I happen to like to paint mine all gunmetal color, metallic. I don't like tools and stuff when they're oversprayed and things like that. This adds a little bit of color, making it something different, not blending in with the whole vehicle. I have a feeling a nap is going to be in order today at some point. Okay, let's see if I can find a picture of this. Panzer II with a smoke discharger. Panzer IIB smoke discharger. Oh, this is the one that was on the back, like in the Panzer III that I have. It is a Nebelkerzen Aufvorrichtung. Good Lord. Abbreviated NKAV. Rear-mounted grenade dispenser used to distribute the Schnellenbergets 39 smoke grenade. It is typically found on German tanks 39 to 42. Yeah, it's the one that's on the back of the Panzer IIIs that I have. This is a different one. This device carried 5 smoke grenades, each grenade being held in position by spring-loaded catches. The vehicle commander released the grenades one at a time by wire control, which operated a ratchet coupled to a camshaft. Each pull of the control wire rotated the camshaft 1/5 of a turn, releasing a smoke grenade. The pin of which was drawn up by a fixed chain, and the ratchet was returned to its original position by a second spring. 5 pulls and the control wire would release all 5 smoke grenades in succession, enabling the vehicle to reverse out of sight in its own smoke screen, with grenades discharging smoke for about 100 to 200 seconds. Later examples of the NKAV, enclosed in an armored box, was discontinued beginning in April 1942 because it had not proven to be effective. The main disadvantage being that the resulting smoke screen built up behind the vehicle. Okay, so let's take a look at, here's one that's a Panzer II, but it does not have this type of discharger. I may just paint the tops of them black, the ends of it. I'm not going to go and do a deep dive on that. I was leaning towards painting the ends of these things. Yeah, the one we were talking about sits back here somewhere. Just 3 on each side. Let's get out the chocolate brown. These dreary looking days are not helping to wake up either. And I went to sleep pretty early. I was asleep before 10 for sure. I wonder why this one doesn't sit in there. Because it doesn't have any of the hole covering it up. Oh. Maybe because I'm a fool and put the wrong one in. This is actually the one that goes on the other one. Jeez. That's right. This is the one that goes in the other hole. Damn me. Oh well, I guess it's as good a time to do as any. I feel like I gotta use epoxy for this. I'm not surprised. I've been getting confused by these two for some time. which one's which. Not a big deal. We gotta do them both anyway. We gotta do them both anyways. We spent a long time trying to fix one of these barrels, but I think it's this other one. Yeah, this is the bastard that goes with the other one. Leave that sit. Okay, I'm actually going to call it a morning. I may need to go take a nap, but anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. Enjoy your Thanksgiving if you have one, and we'll catch you guys later.